Hello, everybody, and welcome back. Let me get things set up here where I need to have things set up. Hopefully, I can get things working the right way this time. And yeah, so I just need to pull up the chat here. So give me a minute. But welcome to the lounge. Glad to be here with all you wonderful, wonderful people. All right, let's see here. I'm just opening up the chat here so I can see what you guys, got to say and all that good stuff. And hopefully my voice is all right, you guys. I know I don't sound the same, but um, what do you do? It's that time of year, sinuses, allergies. All right, there we go. There we go. Okay, I had to pause myself because I'm like hearing double. I don't want to hear myself. Anyways, hope everybody's doing good. I hope you had a good weekend. I apologize for not starting the awareness Sunday night like we always do, but um, I was just, a little under the weather, I guess you could say. But here I am. I figure we'll stay on as long as possible. I'd like to try at least go for 30 to 45 minutes. I just, I think that's long enough, if people join, um, hopefully people will see it and join now. And last week we did it, and poor Blue Wing, she caught it right at the end. I'd seen where she's like, "Oh no, I missed it," but got to keep going. You know how it is. So let's take a look at the chat here. All right. Okay. Come on. I got the chat pulled up. There we go. So everybody should be able to hear me okay. And we got 7 viewers. So, it's all about just, doing these live streams that we do for raising awareness for bullying, to try to at least, put our name out there and say, hey, we don't believe in this bully thing. It needs to stop. It's gone too far. I mean, it went too far years ago, and it's just never got any better. I don't know, not everybody, but I've seen, a few people that said, it's gotten better, but I don't see where it's gotten better. I don't see that. If someone could point that out to me, how it got, any better since last year or the year before, by all means, please do. But I just don't see where it's gotten any better. And if anything, I've seen where, you know, uh, teenagers have had to change their life, their pattern because of being bullied, which means, doing homeschooling, going to a different school. And sometimes, you know what? Sometimes that's okay to do. Sometimes going to a new school, sometimes it can be the answer to making a lot of it go away, because there are schools that will not tolerate bullying at all. The problem is you got to find those schools. And if you don't live in that area, it's going to be hard to even know about that school. And if you do find out about the school, it's one of them areas where if you don't got an income of at least, 40 or $50,000 a year, you can't even afford to move into that area. Um, but hey, we'll keep on doing what we do to try to at least get the word out there and try to support as many people as possible. Um, Hey mom, good to see you. Thank you. You know what? I do feel better from what I felt, you know, 2 days ago and 3 days ago, because I was just, oh my gosh, it was horrible. RP, what's going on, buddy? Good to have you, and Mom, it's good to see you too, by the way. Really good to see you. Um, I appreciate that, RP. Thank you. Thank you. I'm the type of person though, I don't know, some people are like this and some are not, but when I'm sick, it takes a lot to get me to not do anything. Like, I don't like just laying around. I can't do it. So if I'm not sleepy, I will not lay down. Like, I just won't do it. I can't do it. I've always, I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but I always got to be doing something. And I've had people tell me, man, you don't never rest. When do you ever just rest? Just take it easy for you. I'm like, I don't. I never do. I'm always trying to, push it that extra mile for some reason. But anyways, you know what? That's all right. So yeah, let's see here. Back to the chat window here. Yeah, thank you, Mom. I am. I'm feeling a little bit better. My voice is still kind of out of whack, but you know what? I do feel better. Um, so yeah, and just as a reminder to those that might be new, or maybe you've dropped in, you've never been to this channel before, and you're kind of probably trying to figure out what is this exactly. Basically, this live stream that we do on, well, normally Sunday nights, it's for support, and it's also, for raising awareness. Um, Back to support for those that maybe have went through drug addiction or depression or abuse or whatever it might be. We just want to create that, you know, that place where people can come and feel like it's, that it's okay to lean on somebody else. Um, and even if it's just them coming to talk a little bit about it, maybe, writing a couple messages, saying hi, whatever it, whatever helps that person, that is okay with us. Um, so it doesn't matter, what they've been through. Cause I had someone about a week ago message and say, well, is it just for those that's been through drug addiction? And the answer to that is no, of course not. Maybe nothing bad has ever happened to you, but you still want to, go somewhere where you feel like you can fit in. And maybe whatever it might be. This isn't specifically for one uh group, okay? You don't have to be someone that's been on drugs. You know, you it doesn't work that way. We're just here to support whoever we can the best way that we can, right? So anybody is welcome. Anybody and everybody. All right. Um, and then to the raising awareness is for the bullying that happens mostly at schools and online. Cyberbullying is such a big deal, and a lot of people just don't know that much about it, or they don't see it um, happening. So we like to raise that awareness and say, look, this is a problem, and it needs to stop. Uh, with that said, that's we want to bring others on and let them share their stories. Now, I didn't get no emails. And if I did, by all means, if you're in here now or whenever, leave a comment and let me know you emailed me and wanted to come on and I didn't respond because I didn't see any emails of anybody wanting to come on. So if you did, I didn't see it. And I would assume that if Blue Wing saw it, I would know by now too. So remember, if you want to come on, if you got a story to share, if you've been through something when you were, in school, or maybe you went through something in college, you went through something at your work, and you want to talk about that, I would love to bring you on and talk about it. Uh, Bullying happens everywhere. It's not just kids. It's not just, it's not just teenagers that it happens to. It can happen at college, it can happen at work, and it can happen at home, and again, it can happen at school. So it can happen to anybody. And we just want to create a place where you feel comfortable and where you can go and you can speak out and say, hey, this is what's happened to me, and this is how I feel about it. Because remember, your story, whatever your story might be, could be that one story that changes or saves somebody else's life. They might be going through something that you went through, only they're at the point in their life where they want to give up. By listening to your story, you could be saving their life. So remember that. Don't think that this is just for a story to be put out there. It's way more than that. It's to help change people's lives and save people's lives. And it can. It definitely can. So, let's take a look here back at the chat window. Izzy Bell, this is an important cause to me. Thank you, Izzy. I really appreciate that. It really is. It's every time that I do this, I come in with the same amount of passion as I did when I started it because that's the way it's got to be. You got to keep that passion going for doing something that makes you feel really good. Doing something that is for the good of everybody. So every time I come on and do this, I've got that motivation built up inside of me because I know how important it is. It makes it much easier for me to be able to come on and speak to you guys and even repeat myself 3 shows later because of my motivation and my passion for doing something that I believe in. And I believe, so heartedly believe, that if people knew we was here, they'd be listening and watching. And if people knew we was here, it could be someone's life that we're saving. So that is why it's so important that you guys are here. Thank you for bringing that up, Izzy. I really appreciate that. It's Cassandra, welcome. Just looking at the chat, you guys. I don't think I knew about what was going on with your husband, Cassandra. Whatever's going on, I hope things get better. I really do. Yeah, definitely, mom, in the schools. The schools with bullying is so important. It's so unfair to these kids that are being bullied. It's so unfair to them because they deserve to be able to go through school and grow up going through school, having that experience and the fun. School shouldn't be about being scared and having fear and not wanting to do it. It should be about excitement. There's so many. I remember when I was in school, we had so many different school projects and there was the games, basketball and wrestling and all that. So you got to go to all of them and have fun with that. But today, if you're someone that gets bullied, you're not gonna go to any of that because you're gonna be scared about the bully being there to pick on you. Like I said, I really, really think that these schools that are still dealing with this and that still are facing these really serious bully situations, they need to go back to the drawing board, grab the eraser, wipe it off, and come up with a new plan. I don't think that it's fair that the victim has to change their life pattern because of a bully. I don't believe it's fair that they have to change their life around just to avoid a bully. And, the chances of a school listening to this is probably pretty slim, but I ask you this. If you do work at a school and you do have some sort of authority, why is it that the victim is paying the ultimate price? Why is it that the victim has to go to bed at night being scared and being depressed because they had to change their life and they couldn't even go to the school that they loved? They couldn't be around their friends because of a bully. Why is that? Is it a lack of courage that the school is holding? Or just a lack of common sense that your plan isn't working? Do something different and maybe it'll work better, right? That's the way I see it. That's the way I see it. Maybe if the schools and the parents of that bully work together, maybe they could even figure out what's going on with the bully. Maybe the bully's got problems that no one's ever, you know, went up against or ever tried to fix. Maybe that bully has a depression problem. Maybe that bully is being abused at home. So they go to school and pick on somebody else because it's the only thing that they can do that makes them feel better. And so maybe, just maybe, if the schools and the parents of that bully work together, they could stop it and fix it quicker than what they ever thought. Maybe it is a situation where the parents are not paying attention to their child. Hey, parents, those of you that don't spend time and that have no time, make time. Pay attention. Make sure that your child is doing okay. It's the ones that never ask their children if they're doing okay at school. It's the ones that don't pay attention to the report cards or don't care about what their child might be doing at school. Maybe it's time to wake up. That's what I think. Let's stop going with let stop accepting the fact that, well, at least if the child does homeschooling, it's over and they're no longer being bullied. Okay, you're right. They're no longer being bullied. But can't we do any better than that? Can we not do any better than that? I think so. I think so. And if a person can't do any better than that on their own, then I guess there's a really, really good reason to join a group like us because we'll do it together, fight it together, and say, hey, this is a problem. We need to do something about it. Right? That's the way I see it. So, anyways, let me go back down here to the chat and see what you guys. Yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Okay. Jag Girl, hello and welcome. Glad to see you could join us tonight. Dave, good to see you. Just making sure no one else. Let's see here. Yeah, I like what you said too, Izzy. School should be a safe place. It really should be. But anymore, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? With everything that's happened and all the risks that are involved, I mean, it makes you really wonder, how safe is it? That's why, as a parent, you should always make sure you know what is going on at your school. You should know how they handle things. Even if those situations never occur with your child, you should always still have a sense of direction with the school where your child goes, of knowing how they do things, how they handle things. What do they do if this happens? What do they do if that happens? Um, you know, just even the simple things. Always be up to date with that stuff. And if the school can't give you an answer, if you're ever looking for an answer on something, um, you know, and they can't give you one, don't just turn around and be like, okay, no big deal. Always get the answers you're looking for. Sometimes schools can be, kind of rude, unfortunately. Sometimes, the system likes to treat you like you're a child too, even though you're a parent, right? Just don't let it happen and say, look, you know what? It's your responsibility to make sure that my kid's safe. It's your responsibility to make sure that if my child does get bullied, do something about it. Don't just say, "Oh, well, we're going to do it this way and we're going to send the bully, to detention for a day, or we're going to make the bully go home for 2 days." That doesn't work. That just does not work. That's like someone that's on, drugs real bad. They go out and commit a crime. They get locked up for a day, and there's no type of rebound from it, right? Like, oh, well, you did bad. Okay, you're out. Just don't do it again, but smack you on the wrist again, right? So let's see here. Hey, Shauna, good to see you. Thank you for dropping in tonight and showing your support. And I really, really appreciate that. It's very respectful of you guys to do that. I like to see you guys drop in, even if you can only come in for 5 minutes. At least you came to say, "Hey, I support what we're doing here." Um, and RP, there is so many just in the last 2 years. I've came across several suicide stories from being bullied. In just the last couple years, some of it even being locally, right? If anything, I always hated hearing when the schools say, well, we can't do this program or do that because we don't have the funds to do it. But yet, if the school needed a fundraiser to raise money for their basketball team or something like that, you better believe they're raising that money and there's not a problem. But there's going to be a problem when you got to raise money to create a new program to deal with bullying, right? Oh, we can't do that. We just don't have the resources or the funding to do it. But they'll go to bat when it comes to making sure their basketball team's taken care of or making sure that they you know, uh, pay whatever they gotta pay to make sure their logo looks perfect or their mascot is perfect. Well, I got news for you, schools. When you don't stand up for those that are being bullied, I think your mascot's better off just being thrown over in the shadows, just like the bullies. I see people being hurt all the time, or hear about rather, and it makes me lose respect for the school after I see that they do nothing about it. The one thing that burns me up out of all of it the most is when a school will not respond to the media when something really bad happens. And I say, grow some those, and don't be a baby and speak up, right? That's what I say about it. But no, they can't do that because you know, that might cause a impact on their reputation. Shit, you don't want to hurt that, right? So it's crazy. It is crazy. Who else we got in here? All right, King Taco. Hello and welcome. Thank you for dropping in and joining us tonight, Taco. I appreciate it. It means a lot. And again, Shauna, thank you for dropping in. You know, yeah, exactly. Izzy Bell, you're right. It, it it is a horrible, horrible reality. And I don't sit here and even begin to think that, we're going to be the ones that stops it completely because obviously that's not the case. But at least we are here to say, hey, something's got to be done for innocent people that are being abused. The ones that, you know, feel like they're the bad guy when they're really not. The ones that don't realize that they're the victim. They're the victim. The school is the bad guys because they ain't doing nothing about it. So, what does it take? What do we got to do? What do we got to do to help prevent bullying from happening in your schools? If I had the power and if I had everything I needed, every time that I see a child, a teen, a student being bullied, I would have as many people outside that school causing the biggest riot ever, throwing up banners and screaming and yelling and, you know, until they actually stop and look at us and say, damn, we better do something about this. But unfortunately, I can't do that. There was a report, and I'm gonna have to show it next week because I don't know. I was sitting here looking for it, and I don't know what happened to it. Um, it's a good video, and matter of fact, I'll probably play it later this week before we even get to next week. Probably like Thursday-ish or Friday, I'll play it. It's about a 30 to 45-minute video about a boy that went through being bullied, and he ended up getting the worst end of the stick. Now, no, he did not kill himself, but his reactions to being bullied was not the best way to handle it, because he did fight back, but he fought back the wrong way. See, there's a right way and there's a wrong way. To where if you're being bullied, there's a right way for you to fight back, and there's a wrong way for you to fight back. He fought back the wrong way. It's a sad video because the kid was a good kid, but he couldn't take it no more. He got pushed to the edge. He got pushed to where he couldn't be pushed anymore. And he reacted, and the impact of it was very brutal. Very brutal. But I'll find it and I'll get it we'll play it later this week. I want to remind you guys that, if you ever have a story you want to come on, you need to email me, loungingwithjohn@gmail.com. Send me an email. Maybe you got a story. Maybe you want me to just read the story. Just let me know in the email what you want to do, and I'll gladly bring it on. I'll gladly bring you on. I'll gladly bring your teenager on. Whatever you want to do. All right. Whatever we can do to help you. That's what matters. Um, I'll find that video. We'll do it later this week. Also, if you guys haven't checked it out yet, before I go tonight, I want to remind you to go watch the video, the podcast, the vlog that I published a little earlier about the audio drama, The Island series. It's a little preview of the series that's coming out that I've been working really hard on. I think it's going to be really awesome. Those of you that know some of the characters I've done in the past, it's going to have some of that in it, and it's just I like it. I'm very proud of the work that we've done with that. So make sure you check that out and definitely share that if you can. Please do me a favor and share that on your Facebook with your friends, on Twitter with your friends, and help us get that out there as well. And also be sure to share our live streams when we're doing the raising awareness for bullying. All right. Um, if you guys got any questions, you can always contact me. If you've got something going on in your life, maybe you are a teenager yourself and you're being bullied and you just don't know you don't know what to do. You're not sure what way to turn. Or maybe you're a parent and you got a child that is being bullied and you're not sure what to do or how to deal with it. Or maybe you need resources, whatever it might be. This is what we're here for. This is why we do this. To try to be another voice out there that people can depend on. To where people know, you know what? Those guys over there at the lounge, they really care about what happens. They care about what happens to my child. I'm going to support them. I'm going to share their information. I'm going to do all I can to help them because they're helping me. It's all about helping each other. The only way people are going to know about us doing this is by us sharing the heck out of it. Share, share, share. A whole lot, right? So before I go, um, I just want to let you guys know that hopefully next week we'll be on time. And I also want to let you know about the um, goodness. Oh, nope, that's not it. Sorry, I thought I found that video. Um, that I will do that video later this week. As soon as I get it, I'll be back and I'll share that with you. Okay. Um, and also just want to remind you guys to check out the Island audio drama series that's coming out. Still working on the first one. There's about a 10-minute part of it that you guys get to listen to before it even gets published. So go listen to it. I think it's pretty good. Um, and just remember to follow us on Twitter, Lounge with John. You can also give us a thumbs up if you would. And someone asked, they said, why is it that people are doing the thumbs down on you guys sometimes? And I said, well, that's what trolls do. They try to do that to try to make us think, oh gosh, we got thumbs down, so we better stop doing this. But the most that it does for me is just gives me more reason to keep on doing it, right? Because the way I see it, they came over and they was able to hit that thumbs down on us, but they still watched it, so they still gave us a view. It's so damn contradicting, isn't it? But I appreciate all of you coming tonight, Mom and Shauna and RP and Taco and uh gosh, uh, Jag Girl. I can see that Jag Girl to where if they, some don't say anything because they say it makes it worse for them out of school. But I do believe that there are things that could probably still be done to prevent that as well. I guess the question is when something like that happens is how many people are involved in the bullying. Now, if it was like a whole group of people bullying one person, I could see where that could be very scary. But if you're up against one other person, I think that there's, things that could be done to avoid from that person bothering you outside outside of school. And if they do, uh, they'll get in a lot of trouble. But I understand it because some kids will be like, you know what? People's gonna make fun of me if I tell on them. I don't want to be the tattletale, and I get that. But there's got to be more that we can do than what's being done, right? I guess that's my main point. Um, Again, if you guys got a story you'd like to share, please let me know. loungingwithjohn@gmail.com. If you'd like to come on the show, I'd like to get about 3 or 4 people on one night just to put a panel together and have a really open discussion board about the bullying, um, about the support for those that just need support, whether it's depression or whatever it might be they're going through, different forms of abuse, mental abuse, physical abuse, drug abuse. I don't know exactly what weekend we're going to do that, but one of the weekends we're going to do it and we're going to stay live we're going to run it for about 3 or 4 hours and just keep it live and let people join as they request to join the panel. So we'll see people dropping in and out, coming in, talking, sharing their stories, leaving, others coming in, sharing their story, leaving. I think it'd be a lot of fun as far as, everybody just kind of joining together. And I think that it can even be helpful to others to be able to go on, panel and just get things, just talk, just to get things out there and, you know, let people realize that they're not alone, that we're here, right? So, guys, I appreciate every one of you. I'm glad tonight was able to run okay. I've got some other stuff I get caught up on, being that I was, kind of down for the weather yesterday. And again, you guys go check out the new audio drama that I got published a little bit earlier. It's a review of what's coming up, what to expect. That audio drama that I published earlier today, as soon as I do publish the full series, well, episode of that series, um, the part I published today was only about a 10-minute clip of that episode. And each episode is at least going to run 30 minutes, no more than 60. So no more than an hour, but no less than 30 minutes. I like to try to keep them at about, 30 to 40 minutes. That way, one, it keeps you guys on your feet on what's going to happen next. Number two, they're easier to work on when they're smaller like that, because, a 10-minute clip on this series and this episode, what I did publish today, it took me over 2 days to put together, because every single little sound that you hear in that audio drama, all of it uh, was put in individually, each little sound. So, you know, um, I don't know why my phone is acting silly, I tell you. But anyways, guys, I appreciate every one of you. Thank you guys for being supportive. I appreciate every single one of you. Shauna, thank you for coming over. Jag Girl, thank you for coming over. Mom, all you guys. I really appreciate it. I really do. You guys, I would love to have you guys on. If you ever want to come on panel, please let me know. Just send me an email. I'd love to have you guys on. It makes it fun when I've got other voices up on the panel with me. So, um, you know, yeah, think about it. Oh, and by the way, we've got something that we're going to be doing. I spoke to Blue Wings about it a little bit, and it's going to be fun, and I think you guys enjoy it. But I'll talk about that in another video later this week. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I'll say this: those of you that know how to edit and stuff like that, you're gonna love this, because it's gonna be for fun, and you'll get to use your own ideas and imagination and all that. And yeah, if you get picked, uh, your work will be used. You'll see what I mean. I'll talk about it later this week. You guys have a good day, a good night. And just remember, if you're being bullied, you're not alone. If you need us, we're here. Okay. And don't be scared. Anyways, you guys have a good night. And talk to you guys later on. All right. Bye bye.